Today we are at Disneyland to share with you the things that you should never do at Disneyland. So let's get going. The first thing that you should never do at Disneyland is forget to bring a phone charger and a power bank. I always carry this thing with me. If you don't, you're gonna drain your battery. I have a phone with a really super huge battery and I still drain it. You're gonna wanna take lots of photos and video while you're here at Disneyland. The Disneyland app is how you're gonna mobile order your food and check your wait times. It's how you're gonna scan in to lightning lanes and make your suggestions. While you're standing in line, you may want to read a book if you're by yourself, or play a game. You may want to use the Disney Play app. You can do that in line at rides. All of these things are just going to drain your battery. So make sure you come and you plan accordingly. The second thing you should never do at Disneyland is wear new shoes. Now these aren't new, but you will be doing lots and lots of walking at Disneyland. We have done more walking at Disneyland than we have at Walt Disney World. Even though Walt Disney World itself is larger and all the parks are larger, we find we walk more here because of the ease of hopping between Disneyland and DCA. We hop back and forth multiple times a day. We have exceeded 30,000 steps in a day here at Disneyland, and we've topped out at like 24,000 at Walt Disney World. You will do just lots of walking here. If you want to avoid the pain that you get in your feet when you're walking at Disneyland or Walt Disney World, take ibuprofen. Take it from the very first day that you get here when your feet aren't hurting, and just take it consistently every 4 hours. No, ibuprofen, it really will help your feet. The next thing you should never do at Disneyland is that you should never come to Disneyland without a plan. Absolutely, you must have a plan, from things like whether you're going to get Genie Plus, whether you're going to park hop or not, what time you plan on getting into the park, what food you plan on getting. And I have guides for all of this stuff on my channel. If you have not looked at that, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button now. Every single week I'm putting out tips, food videos, vlogs, things like that that'll help you plan your trip to Disneyland and have the best visit that you can. As they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I don't want you to fail at your Disneyland trip. I want it to be magical, and I want it to be the best vacation that you've ever had. While we're talking about planning, make sure you grab dining reservations ahead of time. Right here is Oga's Cantina, one of the most coveted dining reservations in all of Disneyland. They have such limited seating capacity that the reservations for this place literally disappear within minutes of being able to book them. You can make those advanced dining reservations 60 days in advance, and I believe that you can start them as early as 6 a.m. here on the West Coast. And over at DCA, the one you really want to get is Lamplight Lounge. The Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe has some of the tastiest and most popular treats and snacks that are available here at Disneyland. And as you can see, the line is pretty much out the door. Those snacks go by very fast. Some of the only ways that you can get them is if you mobile order them early, sometimes at 7 a.m. before the park even opens. Speaking of Jolly Holiday, our next tip is to never wait in line for food at Disneyland. That crazy long line right there, there's absolutely no reason for you to wait in it. They have mobile order available. You can literally order on your phone and just hit that you're here when your time window is available and walk up and pick up your food without waiting in this line. Why would you wait 30 minutes and waste your day standing in that line? This next tip is one of the most crucial and sometimes also one of the hardest ones to manage here at Disneyland, and that is to never be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude to your family. Don't be rude to cast members. Don't be rude to other guests. Sometimes it can be hard, especially if you're hungry or, you're having to deal with a lot of long lines. I get it. Even I've gotten cranky from time to time. I think we all get a little cranky, especially when we're hangry. But really, it doesn't help anything. It doesn't help you have a better day. It doesn't help other people have a better day. It doesn't help the cast members have a better day. It just really, it doesn't do anything good. And so just don't be rude. Don't be rude. If you do have questions, you can come to this building behind me. That's why we're standing here. The Disneyland City Hall, that's the guest services building. And if you have questions that you need or concerns that you need to raise, go raise it with them. And also, while you're doing it, please be kind and courteous. People are so much more likely to help you when you're nice about it and things like that than when you're yelling at them. Next, never visit Disneyland on a major holiday. Now, today's not a major holiday, but it's still pretty crowded in this area behind me. And the reason you shouldn't visit on major holidays is because those tend to be the crowdedest and busiest days at Disneyland. Now, some of you may not have a chance or a choice. You may have to come on holidays because that's when you're able to. And if that's okay, make the most of your trip. But if you can choose to come off season during the middle of the week, that sort of thing, it's best to do so to avoid major crowds here at Disneyland. You should also avoid days that new rides are opening, days that new lands are opening, days that festivals are getting kicked off. In fact, if you don't care about food, I'd say avoid the festivals altogether. Festival season is from the beginning of November through the end of April. So anytime after that, really, from May until October, there aren't too many festivals going on over at DCA, but DCA is a madhouse when festivals are going on. The booths are up, and so they take away walkway space, and then people are crowding over at DCA to get those foods. So, you know, festivals can just be busier in general. While we're talking about how busy things... While we're talking about how crowded things can be, let's talk about my next tip that is gonna make some enemies, I feel like, and that is to never sleep in at Disneyland. Yes, just don't do it. Don't sleep in. By 11 o'clock this morning, Rise of the Resistance had a 75-minute standby wait. Space Mountain had a 65-minute standby wait. And Credit Coaster over at DCA had a 105-minute standby wait at 11 a.m. Do you know how long it took me to ride Space Mountain this morning? Rope dropping it? 12 minutes. Just 12 minutes to ride Space Mountain. It was amazing. Why? Because I got here at 7:50, was standing in line in the park waiting for the rope to drop. Well, that's where they let everyone into the park. And then I walked straight onto the ride. And for the next 2 hours, I rode Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, Star Tours, Autopia, Astro Orbiter, Finding Nemo submarines, and the Disneyland monorail, all within like an hour and a half after park opening. It was glorious, and all because I actually woke up at 5 a.m. to drive up here from San Diego. Surely if you're staying in a hotel, you can wake up at 7:30, get yourself into the park, right? Since we're over here by Rise of the Resistance, and it has a notoriously long queue line, I want to share my next tip, and that is to never ever cut the line. Please don't do it. Don't send one person into the line and, 30 minutes later, everyone else comes and joins them. I've seen that more than enough times. It's really annoying. It's rude when, people are passing you. If it's just one person, fine. If you have a young child and you were standing in line, and then all of a sudden that little one reaches up, holds your hand and says, "Mommy, I gotta go potty." True story, happened to me multiple times. Well, happened to my wife multiple times because they never ask me. They always ask her. Don't ask me why. Then they have to leave the line and they have to come back. That's totally acceptable. I understand that. But please, don't send one person to hold your space in line while the rest of you enjoy another ride or eat dinner or whatever. Please, just be courteous and don't get in line until all of your party is there together. Some more common courtesy tips. Now, these aren't nevers. This is just, keep in mind, please don't stop in the middle of a walkway. We're very, very busy. And if you stop in the middle of a walkway, you're going to have people behind you almost trip into you. So it's best to pull off to the side if you need to stop, get something, figure out where you're going, that sort of thing. Just pull off to the side of the path, and the people behind you will thank you. Welcome to Stroller World. I mean, it's a small world. This is probably one of the busiest places in the parks for stroller parking, and there are actually not that much space for it right now, just because it used to be on the other side of this building here on the way to Toontown. But because of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, they've moved the stroller parking back there. But what am I getting at? Well, the tip is never bring in valuables to Disneyland. A lot of people bring in, valuables and things and then leave them in the bottom of their strollers, and then leave their stroller parked, and they're there with open access for anyone to have. Now, that being said, Disneyland is actually a pretty safe place for stuff in strollers. I've never had anything stolen from mine, but I thought I had found a safe place to talk. I did not. I was right in an area where they were trying to take PhotoPass photos. Bad on me. Anyhow, so as far as strollers goes, don't leave valuables in your strollers. I've never had anything stolen from me. I've never had my stroller stolen, but I've heard stories. Also, don't bring in ridiculously expensive strollers. Like, if it's $1,000 stroller, don't bring it to Disneyland or Disney World or anywhere. But again, it's generally pretty safe. People aren't going to steal things out of your stroller. So we're here on Main Street now, and if you want to know where the lockers are in the park at Disneyland, it's actually over here off to our left. Now, if you're coming in the park, it's going to be off to your right. Right back here, Main Street, lockers and storage. This is where you're going to want to go. incredibly popular place in there. I did not want to film in there, especially since it was quieter and echoey, but you can get a standard locker for $7 or a large locker for $10. And like I said, there were lots of people in there. It looked like lots and lots of locker space as well. They do have lockers outside the park as well. Additionally, you could just not bring your valuables into the park. You know, leave them in the hotel room. Don't bring them. Speaking of strollers being stolen, your stroller might get stolen by accident if you don't have an identifying marker on it. I love to put identifying markers on our stroller so that we know which one is ours, because we have a very popular stroller. So I put this little ribbon on the handle and I never forget it. Next, never bring in banned items to Disneyland. Behind me is a security checkpoint and they will stop you. What do I mean by banned items? Don't bring in selfie sticks. They banned those because people were using them on rides and then they were hitting things and getting stuck on the rides and causing damage to the rides, and you just don't bring selfie sticks. You can bring in small tripods. This is what mine looks like. It's a Manfrotto. This holds my phone up here. This is the tripod. I can also collapse it down and I can hold it like a stick. It does not extend. That is the thing that they always ask me every time I come in the park. Does it extend? No, it doesn't extend. Okay, you can bring it in. Oversized strollers is another banned item. They recently changed it so that strollers have to measure 31 inches by 52 inches at a maximum. If it exceeds those dimensions on any direction, then it is going to be banned. They won't let you bring it into the park. Also wagons, you know, the wagons that you pull around that you put your kid in and food in and things like that. Wagons are not allowed at Disneyland, so please do not bring them. I have seen security turn people away with wagons. Additionally, the final banned item that you should not bring is inappropriate t-shirts. Now, this is a sort of a trend a couple of years ago that you would come with an inappropriate t-shirt and Disney would give you a free shirt from the Emporium because they wanted you to wear something appropriate. They will not do that anymore because people started taking advantage of it and wearing inappropriate t-shirts on purpose in order to get a free Disney shirt. Don't do it. Our next tip is to make sure you are taking breaks. Now, how does that fit into never not take breaks? I don't know. I just want to tell you that you need to take breaks. If you're coming with kids here to Disneyland, absolutely take breaks, especially in the middle of the afternoon. You see that blue building peeking through the trees over there? That's the Disneyland Hotel. That's how close it is to the park entrance, which is right here, Disneyland and DCA. So literally you can see the Disneyland Hotel right over there. Grand Californian's over that direction. The Paradise Pier Hotel's over there. If you're not staying on property, literally the exit is right over here and you'll end up on Harbor Boulevard, which is just right outside the Disneyland gates. And all the Good Neighbor hotels pretty much are right over there. It's also really, really close to Disneyland. That is the back of Radiator Springs Monument Valley. Please take a break. Use the time from 1 in the afternoon to 3 in the afternoon, the busiest times of the day, to go back, get some rest, and then maybe you can last until park close. So take those breaks, especially, you know, our kid is 5, our youngest is 5, and he still falls asleep in the stroller at Disney sometimes. If you are staying at the Disneyland Hotel, you can take the monorail right here. And it goes straight to downtown Disney right next to that hotel from Tomorrowland. Our final never here at Disneyland is to never buy water bottles in the park. They cost almost $5, probably $5 with tax. And Disneyland will literally give you free water at every single quick service location. There is no need to buy water bottles. Save yourself the money, get some free water. We've already talked about this tip in my other Disneyland video on how to save money at Disneyland. So if you want to see that video, click it right here. I mean, seriously, click it, go watch it, and you will save loads of money on your next trip to Disneyland. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.